Hey guys, another kind of flat day. All the actions in the small caps, the EV stuff, pharmaceuticals, IPOs, SPACs. BFT, I got stopped in the morning. My target price was up in 1570s, 1580s. As soon as we broke my little in between line there on the bull bear kind of crossover, I just got out. Unfortunately, I still like it. I think I'm going to be a little bit more patient here because the 1 year daily looks okay as long as we stay above 1430 on a close. Fubo, what can you say? Keeps cracking. Unbelievable. 1 year daily, I mean, you're getting into that sketchy territory above 85. I mean, usually with it's 95, it's get GFTO, get GTFO, get the F out. Day trade special, what can you say? It's getting there though. Be careful with that one. Edit, interesting moves we've seen. Now it's kind of try to hold this Fibonacci area around 80. I think we went from, where did we go from? The base breakout pivot was like 62 to 96. So basically what 20, 62 to 96, 34 points, 17 on top of 62. So you're right, like if you drew a Fibonacci line, you're kind of at that little indecisive area here. And that kind of puts you right about there. And funny when you zoom in intraday. I don't know why I can't do math today. It bounced right at the 50%. Right here, that's your bull bear line, 79.30. And it couldn't hold the 78.6 at 89.13. Very hard to discern direction in this today. I tried to trade it a few times and I got stopped out for losses. I think I had one gain. Just all over the place with this one. Mdgs, I actually like the way it's holding up. It's about 4,000 shares at $1.91. Somewhere right here. Right around here. And as long as it holds $1.88, I'm good. Target price $2.18, $2.18. If it breaks above 206, it's game on for 218. So we'll see how that one goes. I think I have 3,000 for sale at 218, and since this market's so wackadoo, I'll hold 1,000 because you never know what the hell could happen after that. Root's been weird. I was trading that today. I mean, it had a definite floor on the 1 year. This insurance IPO disruptive technology company. I mean, look at this floor here that I missed. Multiple holds, and then it rockets from 13 and change to 19, a 6-point move. And now it back tested another Fibonacci kind of upward line. Look at that right there. And now 17 is the hold area. So intraday got a little bit lower. 1635 was the low, I believe. Or no, actually it was 1760. So 17 is the line in the sand. And then when it started to flush, I got interested in it. And if you look at it, and I know there's a lot of lines here. So this is the kind of stuff that I look at. If you look at it intraday, this move here was the big flush volume, and then it bounced and then pulled back, and it never really should have got back above this line. So I start to create a drawing based on that move. A continuation move probably would have dropped right here, but it didn't. It fired back up, which was impressive. But I waited and came back in this area across this little transverse line, and that's where I bought it. And I was looking to tag it up in this area here. Don't ask me how I draw these lines. It takes a little while. But it got a little sketchy here and I sold it. And it went down and then went back up and then tagged my line. So, I don't know. My conviction wasn't that strong on that one. MDGS is like running out of gas at 205, but if it breaks above there. JMIA, we talked about liking this one. Up 13% today. Beautiful move in JMIA. Another interesting play, and like this is the type of stuff we're talking about all the time. Pull back here. It never should have got back above this level. So now we've created a line in the sand. you have a pivot break, you have a retest, and then you push through. Now you have a definitive line that you can work off of. These are the kind of lines that we're looking at. This little break here, and then you create a new channel. And this is your channel here, and then you break that channel. And now you're off to the races. I didn't think we'd break this channel, so I sold out, of course. So I left about 500 bucks on the table. This is what it is. And it was kind of like a double horizontal resistance point. So I was surprised to see it get back up there. But once it did, I probably should have at least played this line in here, which is kind of a little bit off. But what I like is on the 1 year daily, one thing got me a little nervous on the 1 year daily is that it's channeling. And what I mean by that is it's just tagging these channel lines. And today's channel line was, you can see the hit there, and then we're hitting here at 47.60. We just tagged the channel line. The difference here is the body of the candle is starting to push through there. So you know what happens when you start breaking out of channels, momentum comes into play, and who knows where this could go, because once again on the 1 year daily, and let's go to a 2 year, even though this is on the 1 year daily, you still have room to replicate this crazy move on the RSI. So you have wiggle room on the RSI. It's still not overbought on the daily. Okay? And then the shape of the MACD is conducive for expansion. There you go, a nice little curl. So don't be shorting this. I don't want to chase it here either, but to me it looks higher. In fact, if you replicate the lower channel on the top line, let me see if I can just, well, if you get that same angle now, you're probably talking, you know, 58, 57. Like I said, I'm not saying go out and buy it because, you know, the risk reward here is getting a little weird, but would not be surprised to see if this tags like 55 in the near future. Once again, the market here is kind of weird, so I wouldn't go out chasing stuff. QS, what can you say? Just can't stop QuantumScape. Unbelievable. Traded it today, and I was like, if this thing breaks intraday highs, once again, you have little areas too, little channels. These two areas on top were overbought areas. Now you create a channel down here, and it wedges and breaks. So now we have some lines to work off of. Well, if this was going to continue down, it would have dropped right here. In fact, it probably would have dropped right here. So once again, it became interesting again for me to hold this little pivot breakout area. So I bought it and then thought this would be a good area to get out because it's not able to hit the top channel and it's losing the momentum middle channel here at 123. And what does it do? It starts to create different channels from there. I mean, we can draw them as we speak. Here's your pivot break and then another breakout. I should have been watching, but you can only watch so much stuff. Then you have another buy, 120. You get 8 points. Holy moly. So that's the kind of stuff I'm looking at intraday. Geez, there's so many stocks. Like, what can you do? Fubo, I already showed that one. Like I said, BFT, a little disappointing. JMIA, looking for higher prices, but getting a little crazy. QS, I mean, this thing's overbought. I don't know what to tell you. You can keep playing that. UPST, I tried to play it today, too volatile. This thing's wacky, man, all over the place on UPST. I think that's it. Peloton, I don't know. I don't like this company fundamentally, but I've been wrong for the last 50 points. So I guess they do have a interesting business model, and freaking Wall Street loves them. So who am I? What else? GLSI is a crazy one. Keeps running out of gas at what, that 48 is it? 41. And I want to catch this on a day where it just keeps hitting 41, 41. I don't know, but it's also holding this bottom here too, so I don't know. Maybe we'll create some channels tomorrow on this one, but it's wacky and hard to kind of figure out. And then Curo, which I still think has another run in it. I got stopped out too, up at 1480, and it got all the way washed down. So now the 1 year is changing shape here, and we've lost our higher highs, higher lows. So now maybe we run a fib from the top. Fibby at 2080 area, although I hate to use wicks because they're very emotional. And maybe this gets interesting at 1314, get another washout. And then if we do candle body, maybe the next level is, I don't know, everything lines up at 1314, 1320. So let's do a alert if it gets below 1340 and see what the dealio is. Not liking the shape of that one either, but they're definitely not selling heavy volume on this one. So fundamentally the company's interesting, they make a ton of money, but the Momo traders are bailing like rats in a drowning ship, a sinking ship. Okay, so that's it for now. Nio, I shorted again today. I don't know, I keep picking on this stuff, and I covered when we got back to this level here. I shorted at the pivot break. Here's the pivot break right here. This is the last candle before we broke down. Whoops. And that's where I shorted. It could still have a continuation move. So you can see horizontal resistance at the pivot break within this little time frame. I probably should have shorted it from the get-go. Actually was short a little bit. I take that back, and I covered for a loss in pre-market like a chicken. So once again, creating different positions and channels, and we break right here. This bounce, you have a smaller intermediate channel here that breaks, and you have a wider channel. And then once it broke here, you have a MACD cross to the upside. You have the volume start to go up. All the things we talk about. Looks like I covered too early. I just didn't think that it would get above. If we zoom in here, I would not be in this stock right now. I know a lot of you guys are going to tell me I'm stupid, but once it broke here, I continued to hold the short, and then I got stopped out at 47.80, and then it just bumped this trend line here and then failed. And now it's definitely lost momentum. I'm not sure what it does from here, because you're probably getting into some horizontal support here, which actually probably lines up with this. So maybe we have a late trade in that. We'll do that one as well. But a lot of direction that's hard to discern here in the market. We still look a little sketchy on the SPY. 205 has just been banging. It's got to push through. So that's it for now, and we'll see how it goes.